Pues nosotros no nos esperamos llegar a vivir así afuera, en la calle, pues.
We never expected to live on the street. That's what Colombian asylum seeker Yeselia Gomez says about life in the U.S. She lives in a homeless encampment, sleeping in a tent on a dirt field off the side of the highway near downtown San Diego.
Pero sí, es algo difícil, la verdad.
The Gomez family is just one of more than a dozen living here. They're all migrants, mostly from Venezuela, Nicaragua, and Colombia, all here in search of their American dream. Albany Hernandez says this is a horrible place for her children. There's no water, no bathrooms, no electricity.
No es bueno estar en este lugar porque usted ve las condiciones, aquí no tenemos baño, aquí no tenemos agua.
Hernandez fled Venezuela with her husband and 3 children. They've been living in the encampment for 2 months. She says they don't feel safe out here anymore.
No, ya no me siento segura aquí.
These families are part of a growing number of homeless migrants and asylum seekers. Customs and Border Protection has released more than 100,000 migrants into San Diego in the last year. The vast majority, more than 95% of them, only stay in town for a few days before reuniting with relatives or friends in other parts of the country. That's according to data from the county of San Diego. But some of those with nowhere else to go are becoming homeless.
So we've seen people from all over, right? It's, you mentioned Guatemala, Venezuela, Ethiopia, Somalia.
Hanan Scrapper is the regional director for PATH San Diego.
It's just, it's a crisis right now that we're trying to really manage the basic human need at the moment.
Starting last September, staff noticed migrants trying to access the city's shelter system. Since then, they've counted more than 1,100 homeless migrants. Those who have family or friends in other cities are referred to a family reunification program, and those who need shelter are referred to Our Lady of Guadalupe Church or Father Joe's Village. San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria did not respond to questions for this story. Scrapper says that homeless migrants are in particularly vulnerable situations because of their immigration status.
They may not be eligible for subsidized assistance, right? They may not be eligible for food stamps or medical care and all that. So we have to try to figure out to really meet their basic needs.
But they are eligible for shelter. That is, if there were any available. San Diego is already one of the most unaffordable cities in the world. Scrapper says it's common for struggling families to pay 70% of their income just on housing.
We have hundreds of people who show up at the Homelessness Response Center daily seeking shelter, and we are often turning most of them away.
And this overburdened homeless system is where new migrants find themselves in, putting their names on long wait lists for temporary shelters and even longer lists for permanent housing.
So you have this bottleneck of folks that are in shelters waiting for permanent housing and people waiting to access those shelters.
Back at the encampment, families struggle to make the best out of a horrible situation. For Yeslia Gomez, that means cooking. It is the one thing she has control over.
La comida pues en México es picante, pues o sea, uno no está acostumbrado a eso.
Food throughout Mexico was way too spicy compared to what they eat back home in Colombia. And food in the migrant shelters was always bland.
Sí, aquí bueno, gracias a Dios pues lo que uno se consigue al menos para cocinar lo que uno está acostumbrado a comer.
But here, she thanks God for the ability to cook whatever she wants. On her makeshift kitchen, she uses a gas-powered hot plate to cook some rice with pasta while chopping onions and yucca on a nearby picnic table. Albany Hernandez is not letting homelessness get in the way of her American dream. At least not for her children.
Yo cuando llegué, a mí me dijeron que la educación aquí no se la niegan a ningún niño.
She's already enrolled them in school, where they're learning English, and they also get a trolley pass and free meals. While the kids are in school, Hernandez and her husband work.
Y si ellos ven que, cónchale, somos personas que estamos trabajando, niños que están estudiando, que nos ayuden. Nosotros no queremos que nos estén regalando nada.
She wants to show San Diego that they're hardworking people. They just need a little help. Gustavo Solis, KPBS News.